What's up, y'all? We back. Welcome back to the Antifreeze Podcast. I'm Mickey22, and I got my two co-hosts with me today.
Miss T, how y'all doing today?
The super villain herself.
Oh, hush.
Hey, I'm Scales of Life. What's going on?
And what are we going to be talking about today, super villain?
Well, since I'm a supervillain, we will be talking about if the DCCU had a phase plan like Marvel, what movies would there be based on fundamentals to make it better than
Take two. All right.
whatever. Anyway, since you got jokes, how about you start?
You the one can't read the teleprompter. That's all I'm
Here
saying.
we go with the teleprompter.
So you're just not going to do it?
No. You gonna do it. You go first.
Wow. I got to do it because somebody can't read today. Okay,
What?
so what she was trying to say for the first topic, if DC had a phase like Marvel, which movies would be in it? That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say.
I hate you. I hate you. Why are we friends? I hate you.
I don't know. Ask yourself that.
I will later.
So, Weatherman, you go first since she want to argue with me today.
Oh, we gonna argue, all right.
Oh Lord.
That I'm not gonna say how that sounded. That sounded crazy in the ear. That sounded so crazy in the ear. Go ahead.
Okay. If it's, like I say, if it could be something to actually roll off with, I guess if they actually did have an actual phase plan as of course its counterpart, I think in some weird way of fashion, the Nolan series for Batman would have actually been a start off to it. Then I think at some point, working in Man of Steel out of that somewhere. After that, it kind of goes into like a long duration after that. So it's kind of like choosing between Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and the first Shazam movie. I would try to throw in the Green Lantern movie, but we already know how that reception went. So that one needs an automatic reboot in order to actually be classified off of it.
What you talking about? There is no Green Lantern movie. They never made one.
I think I'm reading the lines off of that one. If we're not gonna count the Ryan Reynolds one.
The who?
The
The
who?
one with
The who?
the one with Ryan Reynolds.
Who?
That never happened.
Who?
Like, Mickey, have you ever heard of a Green Lantern movie? 'Cause
I ain't never
I
heard of a Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie a day in my life.
I mean, that's news to me.
It's news to me too.
Like, shit, why you be finding these? Like, what? Who did that?
Who did that? See,
Okay, I know it's early in the morning.
I've never heard of it before. There's no war in Boston say.
Is not a war in Boston say. The war is over. What are you talking about? Scales, are you okay? Are you feeling good? Do you need to
Yeah,
you
I
need
mean
a
that was the
vacation?
same. I actually probably do again, but the thing about it is that as sadly as it is, that movie did exist. That was the one he did
What are you
before it got
talking
in
about?
class for.
Seriously, Mickey, like what is he
I
talking about?
don't know
Like
what he's talking about. I
Look
don't
it
he's
up.
know.
making me
I
feel some
don't
type of
know.
way.
Look it up.
I don't know.
That was his first. That was just about borderline his first superhero role before, of course, playing Wade Wilson. Deadpool.
I mean, I remember Deadpool, but I don't remember Green Lantern
That
movie. Do you
movie
remember
I
a Green
know.
Lantern movie too?
That's because of how
No.
terrible it was.
I don't.
Yeah, that's
No.
We're sorry,
that's just
y'all.
how terrible it
We
is.
don't know. We don't know what he's talking about.
What's
We'll.
the proof of this? There's no proof of
We don't
like
know what
a
he's
Green
talking
Lantern
about.
movie.
So we'll
Look it up. All you gotta do is just look it up.
fake news, but
It's
we'll move
terrible.
on.
It's
Fake news. We'll
it's
move
terrible.
on. Fake news. We'll move on. Get the joke next time, James. Anyways,
Did get the joke?
no, you didn't. You
Trust me,
ruined
I
it.
did.
You
Like
ruined
I
it.
said, that's
Anyways,
why it was terrible.
back to the thing. There's no war in Boston say. So as you were saying about this phase,
Uh, ah,
You threw him off. You threw him off
there's
his
really nothing
game.
else that really could go on for it.
you missed a whole lot, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say it.
They can't go up.
Go
Because
ahead.
basically, what could have happened if they wanted to do phases, like they phase one could have started with. It really could have started a long. If they wanted to do a long phase, it could have started with Batman Begins. If they really
Yeah.
wanted to do that, it could have started with the Batman trilogy, with Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and when he fought Bane and everything. Then after that, you have
Yeah.
Man of Steel, which would have been the second part of it. Then they give
Right.
that Superman a sequel, and he fights whatever, he fights whoever, whatever, and then you do Aquaman, and then you do Wonder Woman, but then you got to ask yourself which, because basically the phase needs to end up being the Justice League, so you have to kind of
Yeah.
pick which superheroes you want to, because you got to put the right superheroes in the right order, because it has to end up with them being in the Justice League together. So
It
after
really does.
Right.
Wonder Woman and Aquaman, you kind of gotta either go for Green Lantern, or you can go for fucking Martian Man, or you can go for the Flash if you want to, stuff like
No,
that. Depending on how big
but
you
don't
want them
make
to
it
be,
Barry.
huh?
Don't make it Barry though. I was like, don't make it Barry.
Yeah, but I'm saying like like whichever Flash besides Barry you want to do, that's fine. But I'm just saying like it depends on how big you want the Justice League to be, because if you want them to be as big as the one on TV show, then that's gonna take a minute. But if you just want to do like Martian Man, Green Lantern, and the Flash, that's cool too. But those would be the people that you would need to make the Justice League movie make sense at the end of the phase.
Pretty much, and do it like how they did Marvel. You had Iron Man, Thor. You met uh Black Widow and Hawkeye and everybody. Captain America. Then you got into um the Avengers, and then you went beyond that.
Yeah, like that's basically all they need to do. It's basically just like just do their origin stories and then have them start to meet each other, randomly, like how the Avengers did, and then they end up meeting up, and then the
Yeah.
Justice League is formed.
And then if you want to go into your second phase could be what we always said, the Teen Titans right there. That could be your second phase.
It could be the second phase, but nobody wants to do that,
Yeah.
so we'll never get it.
That could be your
Sad
second
face.
phase and going into the Teen Titans. That could be your second phase right
Yeah.
there.
It could be a second phase, but we're never gonna get it. Sad face.
I know. And like third phase could be like Titans East or
Third phase has to be
um
Titans East.
Or what about with this one? What if their actual second phase was kind of like a live moniker of how Young Justice turned out? Like they welcome in there, of course, they're
I
labeled
was gonna
sidekicks.
say
That's
Then
I was
eventually the
gonna
Titans phase
say
goes on.
that's too
I
many
was gonna
people.
say it really is, because I was gonna say if that's the case, you could have made that the fourth phase.
Cause if that
Okay.
Young Justice has to be way after the Justice League. It has to be
Way.
way after the Justice League. And Young Justice and Teen
Okay.
Titans don't really mix well together.
That's why I say that could have
Well,
been
yeah.
like the fourth phase right there,
Cause you
which
could
is Young Justice.
because Young Justice could be like the final phase of it.
I
And
can
then
see
that'd
it.
be like the last movies of the phases and everything. Like that could be phase 4 and the last phase of it. Cause
Okay.
you can't just like magically give half the Justice League kids in the middle of the phases.
Oh yeah, true.
Cause then you have
Speaking
to
of kids,
cause
how
then
would
you have
that
to
actually
bring
turn
cause
around
then you have
or
to
turn about?
cause then you have to bring in more superheroes than that's already in the Justice League. So I mean it's
Oh
easy.
yeah, true.
It's easy. They just kinda like gotta put it together.
Right.
If they do it right.
They could use our help for real. It will work. Just let us three do it. We know how to do this. We just don't have the money, but we have the technology.
No, we don't.
Our
The fuck?
our mindsets. That's the technology right there. We know how to run this.
Nigga,
They ain't
they
finna
say we
pull
have
us
the brain. We don't have the technology. Do it right.
or the money.
Hey, that's what I just said. I just said that part on the first half by saying
Oh,
we don't
brother.
have the
Take
money.
5. Take 5. Oh, brother.
Jesus. Nigga, we have the mindset, true, but they ain't finna listen to us.
They need to. It
The,
would help.
the day I get an email from somebody actually at DC, then I'll say that you're right, James. But until then, you're wrong. So be quiet. All right. So, anybody else got anything else to add?
No, but I'm pretty good on my answer.
I'm good.
I mean, like it was a simple topic. But, like they just gotta put it in the right order, and I think it could work.
If they do it right.
Yeah, as long as they do it right, it'll be fine.
Take notes from your Batman movie. Do it right.
That's asking a lot for DC.
A hell of a lot. Okay, so next topic is, should there be more live action movies based off games?
No,
Ouch.
I agree with that one. No.
y'all have ruined too many video games with these movies. Just stop it at this point.
I saw Uncharted and it's on Netflix, so
And you know what's fucked up about that Uncharted movie? They
what?
mixed all 4 Uncharted games into one fucking movie.
Which was wrong.
It's 4 fucking games. 4.
They should just did one and then the other ones followed after that.
Like, how do you mix 4 games into one movie? Like, literally, like the scene with the plane and shit, that was from the 3rd fucking game.
Yeah.
Well, for all you video gamers out there, because I'm slowly getting into mine, I would say, like, the Mortal Kombat movies are
Eh,
decent.
eh,
I said decent.
eh,
I said decent.
eh. It's about as much as I can give them the eh. Like how do you
I
mess it up
mean,
twice in like 20 years?
damn.
But
Like I
I
don't
think
get
I
that.
can see.
Like how you make
Can I
one
speak on
that's
this?
trash.
Or what about like 007 video games that got turned into movies,
But 007 wasn't really
But
a
it's a repeat.
well, yeah, like
That's the thing about that.
007 is completely different because 007 movies been coming out since like the 50s, so that's completely different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whereas actual
Well,
franchises, like how the Mortal Kombat series started out and what it became now, then you do the whole video game bit off of it. Not video game. You do the whole movie bits off of it, and they get close, but they don't ever remain the same as it is. Even with the last one, you add in or you
they
throw in
did,
some character that never existed.
Because even the Street Fighter
'cause they
movie was
did,
trash.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that they did Street Fighter,
It
and
was trash.
I was just gonna say, Tekken, their animation is coming out next year,
I
and
heard about that and I forgot it too.
I'm just saying, like, what if they made Tekken into a live? What
That
if they
literally
made
would
that
make no
into
sense. You can't like they don't know how to do game movies. Just like they don't know how to do anime movies. They suck at it.
Yeah.
Cause look at Resident Evil. All the Resident Evil movies are trash. All of them.
I don't care for Resident Evil.
Nobody does. There isn't one
Them movies-
Resident Evil movie that I would sit down and watch willingly.
There's one for me, and that's it. The others, on the other hand, just kind of like go like
I
a
know, but
downward
it's like the
slope.
whole series is bad. The whole fucking
Yeah.
series is bad.
But if you could make a live action movie out of the games that you love, how would you go about it though?
Shit, before I get to that, even the fucking Halo series they just did, I heard that was ass.
I still
Damn.
can't believe they did that.
Yeah, like I was like, when I heard they was making Halo, I was like, how? Like how? And then it's like the main thing about it is like, especially when a game got multiple entries in the series, they never like be patient with doing sequels. Just like with this
Right.
Uncharted movie. This could easily been 4 fucking movies if you would just they would just been patient and did it movie by movie.
Exactly.
Because like its
The same thing
characters,
that they did for the Hitman series.
because like it's villains in the Uncharted game series that you never see in the movie because they mixed all 4 games into one because they wanted it to be this
Yep.
big blockbuster shit. Like it took the Uncharted series like over a decade to actually finish. But it's like
Yep.
the movies would have been a good movie series if they would have been patient and did 1 through 4 because they're all good fucking games and the story is good. So like
Yeah.
I don't know, like that's one thing they never do. And two, they never stick to the source material. They always gotta change some shit. They always change the characters, they change the villains, they
They
change how
changed the
the
origin.
yeah, like they change how the main character acts. Like they just change everything, and they don't stick to the source material, which made the game good in the first place.
And they always throw in somebody that no one's ever heard of.
Exactly, and then it's like we be asking where this random character came from, and it just fucks up the whole movie because the Uncharted, the
Like, who are you, bitch?
yeah, like they be throwing in random ass people because in the Uncharted movie, the girl that plays Chloe, you don't see Chloe till Uncharted 2. Like she's not even in the game. Like she's only in 2 games. She's not even in Uncharted 4.
So you only see me twice and that's it.
Yeah, and then like I know they fucked up the Uncharted movie. It's because the first Uncharted game has fucking zombies in it. And I know there wasn't no fucking zombies in that Uncharted movie.
It
I
was
don't think
not.
it was.
That's what
No, I'm gonna tell you. Tom Holland is a bartender who plays like the main character from Uncharted, and he meets up with this dude who's kind of like a swindler or something like that. And next thing you know, they're off to the islands like Greece and stuff like.
that's not even how they meet. That's not even how they meet in the game. Nathan, like, cause the character name is Nathan Drake.
Uh-huh.
Nathan Drake met Sully when he was like 12 years old in some Spanish country,
No, they
and
weren't.
and
They
they
was
didn't
in America.
and they didn't tell you that until the 3rd fucking game.
Because
And Sully in all the games is supposed to be like this 50-ish-year-old man.
no, he wasn't 50.
And that's what I'm saying. You don't know how they meet until the 3rd game, and in the
And then at the end of the movie, spoiler alert for those who ain't seen it. At the end of the movie, you see his brother, Nathan's brother, in some prison, and
we
I was just like, oh,
you don't even see his brother until the 4th game.
well, you saw
Ting.
his ass at the end.
No, I'm saying like they literally fucked up the whole timeline of the entire series with that. Because Nathan is not a bartender; he's a fucking treasure hunter. He doesn't
Yep.
work in a fucking bar. He met Sully when he was 12 because he was a fucking orphan. He didn't meet Chloe till Uncharted 2. Like, it's so much shit that they miss. I would be here all day talking about it. But they just
They
never
pretty much
stick
pulled
to
the
the
Dragon
source
Ball
material.
evolution. They practically
Basically.
pulled the Dragon Ball evolution.
They they basically
There you
did
go.
that with Uncharted. Like, they changed the entire fucking story to fit it all in one movie. Because in most of the Uncharted series, Drake is like in his 30s and into his 40s.
Yeah.
So even
No.
picking Tom Holland was a stretch. No, for real. Like even picking Tom Holland as to play Nathan Drake was a stretch because like now you're making him like damn near 20 years younger than he is in the games.
I was
Yeah.
sure gonna say like, it wasn't nothing about him that scream 30s and 40s.
That's what I'm saying. And then Mark Wahlberg he didn't look nothing like Sully. Like it was like they just put the shit together. Like it was just one of them put together as movies. I could tell this shit from the trailer. That's why I didn't go see it. Because it's like I know they ain't gonna do 4 whole movies about this, so there ain't no point in me going to go see it.
Because they were
Yeah.
like flying in a pirate ship and shit like that. And I was like, what the fuck?
That shit never happened.
Yeah.
None of that shit happened. That's what made me mad about it. None of that shit happened. None of that shit
But
fucking happened.
are we in agreement to should there be more live action movies about games?
Yeah, stop doing it. Like unless they're gonna be true to the source material, they just need to stop it because at this point it's just making the games look bad to people
It
who have
really
never
is.
played them. Because
Exactly.
that's why. See, I know you remember when I had a heart attack when I saw something that was like somebody was thinking about making a live action Kingdom Hearts. I damn near had a heart attack.
Yes. I'm so serious, y'all. I thought I had to call 911 for you. I was like, breathe. Bro, you scared the shit out of me. Don't do that no more. Don't do that
The
no
Did you
more.
fucking
get?
shit I saw on the internet scared the fuck out of me because ain't no fucking way they gonna make it. They are gonna make enough movies to actually tell the story of Kingdom Hearts. I know that. That's why I freaked the fuck out.
Cause that's Kingdom Hearts is way too long. And you ain't gonna tell it right. And then you had to do a lot of CGI
Yeah,
for
It's like
like the
zombies.
CGI ain't
it's
even gonna look
technically
right.
it's technically like Final Fantasy. It begins to a point, then it starts, something different, then it goes to a different
But
point, then it starts again and everything.
Final Fantasy never had a live action. They were always
It never
animated.
will. It never will.
You
And
say
that's a
that.
good
Like
thing.
You say that.
like
That's a
there's
good
like there is no way that you could actually do that, especially to keep up with the timeline that they got.
There's gonna be a fucking
man.
Smash Brothers live action movie one day. We all just gonna
Oh
scream.
no.
Oh God,
No.
no.
No. No.
Lisa,
Just
no,
no.
no.
At this point, I've lost hope in a lot of these movie studios. I'm not gonna lie to you. So anything is
No.
possible.
Don't
Ruin
say that.
more of our childhood. Why don't you?
Don't say that. They've already ruined mine with the Yu Yu Hakusho, so don't do that.
I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it anyways. They don't care about us.
I
They
know.
don't.
It's okay though. It's okay.
It's not.
I'll
It's
find
not.
some way to live through it. I'll live through it.
I won't.
If we can live, if we can somewhat live through Dragon Ball Evolution, we can.
I
We
damn
can.
near didn't.
I watched it one time and I haven't
I
watched it
damn near didn't.
since.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I damn near didn't. Just gonna say it. I damn near didn't. Like legit. I didn't give a fuck about Dragon Ball for a good 5 years after that. So
I didn't. Like I say, I did the exact same thing. Even when they announced like new movie projects that came out, I'm like, for the love of God, please do not, be like this,
Dragon
and
Ball
this.
Evolution 2. It is.
don't speak that into existence. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do
I
not
didn't do
speak
anything.
that
I
into
didn't do
existence.
anything.
Cause I promise you, they say Dragon Ball Evolution Part 2. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna
Dragon
get you
Ball
because it's gonna be
Super
your fault.
Evolution 2. It's not gonna be my fault.
I'm gonna get you.
It's
I'm gonna
It's
not
kick
gonna
gonna
be
be
someone
my
off
your
of a
fault.
fault because
bridge
It
you
is
if they
not
do
gonna be
that.
my fault.
you not.
It is not gonna be
You
my
spoke
fault.
that into existence.
I didn't say
No,
shit.
seriously, I'm serious. I'm gonna kick someone off of a bridge if they do that.
Why? That's committing murder. Are you
Yes, I'm fine. Just don't ever do another project like that.
I'm on a
Stop doing
podcast with a
projects
couple
like
of
that.
murderers.
I'm not a murderer. I
We've been
stay in
over
my
this. We've been over this. We've been over this.
Don't start.
Don't start what? Tell them the truth.
I am not a murderer. You know what? Anyway,
Wow, the lies. Your Honor, she's lying.
Not
Your Honor, hearsay. Hearsay.
yet.
next topic.
Hearsay. Hearsay, Your Honor. Hearsay. You got the teleprompter.
Oh my God. Why do I do this? Next topic. Was Ms. Marvel a cop or a flop? What was cool about it and what made it meh about it?
You talking about the series or the movie?
The
The
series.
series.
You talking about with the
Yeah,
little
because
girl?
yeah.
Yeah.
I have not seen an episode of that. I thought we were talking about the movie.
No.
I have not watched this shit. I don't okay. First off, I didn't okay. This is gonna sound crazy, but when the fuck
Well, we can
did
talk about both of them, really.
I know what I'm saying, but when the fuck did Miss Marvel become Indian or whatever race she is in that show?
That Ms. Marvel occurrence occurred around basically she basically came around in like the early comic versions, or not versions, introductions of Miles Morales as Spider-Man.
So
To
why did they
whereas
make
like
her that in the Miss Marvel movie then?
that one is Captain Marvel, and they had a feud with DC over the name over it, seeing the fact that Shazam's real technical name is Captain Marvel as well. So they didn't want to, have like
So
any, property losses off of that.
so
That's how
basically
that came to be.
so basically what you're telling me is they can come up with different names for superheroes.
I just say let it
Marvel
be.
told
One is male, the other one's female.
Marvel
Boom. There's a
literally
big difference.
Marvel literally told DC you can keep the character, but the name stays home. The name stays here. They
Exactly.
shit.
I'm not
Like
even
that
about
was
to
the
lie
main
to
problem
you.
over
I
it.
am confused as fuck. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so
I've seen the
DC had
show.
the name DC had the name Captain Marvel and the character, which we now know is Shazam.
Yeah.
DC had both. Marvel came, Miss Marvel came about, but they couldn't, like, they had a name for her, but it wasn't really sticking. So here it is, DC got the name Captain Marvel. Oh, well, DC, you can keep the character, but let us have the name. DC was like, what the fuck? Nah, we worked hard for our shit. So, court fees and shit like that. So Marvel ended up with Captain Marvel and DC kept the character. And Marvel has been telling DC for years, if you come over here trying to get this name back, we will sue you. In a nutshell.
Okay, so the movie Brie Larson was in was Miss Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
and Shazam is supposed to be called Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's so stupid. Anyways, um,
But Marvel, the studio, or the book and shit like that, said we want it to be Captain Marvel. So they
okay,
pretty much took Captain Marvel.
okay, but like I was saying, I haven't seen the show because I was kind of confused. I was like, wait a minute, why is she 12 now? Like, I didn't get that part.
Okay, so basically, because I saw all 6 episodes, basically, Miss Marvel is about a girl who is Indian.
I have no
Yeah.
fucking idea. I'm not even about to lie
She
to you. I
is.
don't fucking
I'm,
know.
I'm,
She
I'm,
is.
I'm okay, because I don't want nobody coming for me in the
Don't
comments.
tell me what to do.
So, so her family is like something called jinns,
Uh huh.
which is like the evil genie version of,
The nigga from Atlanta.
genies and shit,
Mm.
something like that. But she ends up finding out later on in the series that she could be a mutant. But her powers come from a bracelet.
An amulet that's
So
attached to
she's
her
Ben
wrist.
10.
Man, she's some of everybody. I'm gonna put it like that.
So she's Ben
I
10.
hate that they wrote her in to be a mutant. I hate that they did that.
So she's an X-Men Ben 10 character.
Pretty much, cause it's just like Stargirl. All her powers come from a staff. So Miss Marvel powers come from this bracelet, amulet,
Right.
bracelet, whatever. Do not correct me over here, scales.
You're
Bracelets.
fine. I'm just saying.
It's
I'm not
actually an
correcting anyone.
amulet. Technically, the technical term is an amulet.
I
See,
know.
there we go.
See, he's over here always correcting folks. Talking about, nah, that's not it,
Well, technically,
dude.
in issue 55, it was called an amulet. Get it right.
I did watch all 6 episodes, and even after the rewatch, after episode 3, for me the energy just like dropped off. It's like nothing that they really wanted to truly explore with her kept on going, because it's like, even with the last bits that they were running with, they swapped her out in this so-called, universal switch for her, and Miss Denver's over here, and it's like, why?
Oh, you
Like,
talking
what
about
role does
the
this actually?
okay. So, Mickey.
Uh huh.
So in the very last episode of Miss Marvel, you see Captain Danvers, the actual actress who plays Captain Marvel in the Marvel,
Ugh.
She ends up getting teleported into the girl's room, and the girl gets teleported to wherever Captain Devers was. And you see Captain Devers like, damn, why am I in this 12-year-old room who has plenty of posters of me everywhere? And then she runs downstairs, and then you see in black and white like they do in Marvel movies. You will see Miss Marvel in the Marvels.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a family of Marvels, just like how it is a family of
And that's the next
of
movie
Zans.
that's coming out. That's the next movie that's coming out called The Marvels.
I am so
Yeah.
fucking lost.
It's basically a parody out of the next, like I said, out of the new Shazam movie that came out, like how they introduced the rest of their family
What the
into this
fuck are
by
they
them all being
doing?
kids, and they did that.
What the
They're
fuck are
following
they
some
doing?
timeline to this, and I'm actually lost.
I
I
don't.
So
kid you
there's
not.
Captain Marvel, there's Miss Marvel, I think there's a Mr. Marvel somewhere or
Can
some
we
shit
get a
like that.
It
reset
better
on?
not be.
Can we get
Wait,
a
I forgot
reset?
it
Hold
was.
on, hold on, hold
I
on.
forgot it was.
Can we get a reset on like the superhero movies from like the past 3-4 years? Can we just get a reset?
I want that too.
Can we
'Cause
get
right
a
now it's
reset?
like,
Like, can they just
yeah,
like redo everything to actually make it make sense, or is that too much to ask?
probably too much to ask for as far as the response, because it's just not
Cause I don't
it's just not
fucking
working right now.
cause like do y'all understand what I'm saying? Cause like none of this shit has been making sense since Endgame. Am I kind of hitting it on the head a little bit?
You are.
Cause
To
like
be fair, that's when Marvel really hit their highest peak, and it's like everything now is kind of like just taking like a cool down, and there's only one bigger main project that they got coming out, and that's the sequel to, of course, Black Panther. Right now, they're trying to ride the hype wave over again.
I know, but I'm just saying it's like everything after Endgame just been feeling like it's not even a point to it. Like Eternals didn't feel like it needed to come out. Like none of this shit. Like
And
none
that
of
was
the
supposed to be
Marvel.
mixed in.
No, I'm saying like
Okay. Okay. While y'all was debating, I just looked up all the Marvel characters. So if anybody remembers in the first Captain Marvel movie, she met a person named Marvel, the woman.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, that's one character. Then you have Genesis Vale, which is the third Captain Marvel, and
yeah.
that's the male. Then you have second Miss Marvel, which is Sharon. Her name is Sharon. And then you
Hmm.
have Moonstone, which is third Miss Marvel. Then you
Yep,
have Marvel Girl. Then you
yep,
have Blue Marvel. Then you
yep,
have
what?
Marvel Boy. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
you
what?
have Marvel Boy.
What are these horrible ass names?
His real name is Adam Berser. He was created in 2008. He's a scientific genius who possesses a multitude of
Okay,
superpowers
stop,
as
stop,
the Blue
stop,
Marvel.
stop, stop, stop. Pause, 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 pause. What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck,
It's a
Marvel?
And
lot.
No, no,
It's a
no.
lot.
What the
and
fuck, Marvel?
If
Like,
you
what the
think
fuck
that's
is
something, wait till you
this?
hear the
Hold
family of
on, hold
Shazam.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm not done. What the fuck? What the fuck is this bullshit y'all releasing? What the fuck happened? Did y'all just forget how to make movies? What the fuck
It's
is
like ever
going
since
on?
Stan Lee died and everything, things changed. It's like ever since Steve Ditko died and everything, things
Like, how
changed.
the fuck did y'all just forget how to make movies? What the fuck is going on? Like, what is this shit?
That's basically what it is.
yeah,
It's crap.
these are the characters of the Marvels. But you probably won't see some of these damn characters. But in the movie that's coming out next year, you will see what's
Probably
the
4 or 5
girl
of
Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. If anybody remembers the girl from what is it? Uh WandaVision, the black girl.
them. Yeah.
She's in there. She's in there, and then there's gonna be a dude.
This
So
shit is
basically, all the
so
other characters are
fucking
irrelevant.
lame. This shit is
So
so fucking lame.
You have Kamala, You have Carl Danvers. You have Monica. Nick Fury supposed to be in there, and you gonna have a lot of other people.
This shit is so
But
fucking lame.
this movie is set to be released July 28th of 2023.
That shit sounds so ass.
Yep, the Marvels.
So it's the knockoff Incredibles, basically.
You might as well. Hey.
Cause like that shit, it's just like I don't know what the fuck has been happening with Marvel the past couple of years, but they just been missing so fucking much, and I don't get
Same with
it.
DC.
I have
Same with
yet to
DC, and it's
see.
both of them that I fault.
Honestly,
Look, I've
DC
yet
been
to
making
see.
good ass movies the past couple of years.
Thank you.
But
Like
they've
DC
also
hadn't
have
made a
neglected other
trash
ones
ass.
too.
DC has not been making trash ass movies for the past couple of years. It's really just been Marvel.
After
And
Endgame, they should have just stopped. And I literally goes back to what I said on this podcast. Stick to making TV series, even if it's ass. It does not matter. It won't hit the big screen because damn it, I didn't even go see Thor Love and whatever it was because I'm just like I don't even care about Thor no more.
Because honestly, I would argue that DC, like ever since Endgame ended, DC has been the one making the good superhero movies. That's just me. Because Marvel
I feel
been
that
missing ever since Endgame was over.
that part is true. I will say off of this one though, for me, by I guess it being like a slight margin of like out of the percentage of 51-49 here for DC, that if I guess for me that I actually like clarity and better production out of it. Two movies that I feel really were rushed was of course Batman, Superman, Dawn of Justice, and of course the whole Justice League bit. They wanted everyone to pretty much be almost in that same competing platform as what Marvel was doing, with the Avengers and the hype for Endgame and everything. If they would have just took their time off of it, everyone else would have also gotten their origin movies as well as, of course, other cameos. Then that could have worked in for the Justice League off of it,
What fucked
at least
that
for
up
me.
was the simple fact that they put Cyborg in the Justice League. That's what fucked that up.
Exactly.
That's really what
Exactly.
fucked it up. Because I'm like, Cyborg
The
didn't even
whole
really
movie,
add to the movie. He was just there.
like I would have been
Exactly.
okay if it was just like Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and the Flash. That's cool. You know, honestly, I opted for the Black Green Lantern. Jump.
They were, like I say, from what I read, Zach was trying to do that, but they couldn't ever find nobody. His words. I'm like, you got plenty of people out here to actually find for that. Is who you actually want to represent that role right there.
It could be Michael J.
Uh,
White.
Thank
If they
you.
would have thought about that, they would have won with it.
He makes an awesome Green Lantern. He has the build. He has the face. He pretty much is the
He's
Black
lit.
Green Lantern.
He literally looks like John Stewart. You just gotta put him in a Green Lantern. You just gotta put him in a Green Lantern costume.
That's it.
He's literally
Exactly.
John Stewart. You just gotta put him in a costume.
Like, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Go on, put him in that suit.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's people out there. They just didn't want to put him in the fucking movie for some reason. Because everybody, I'm pretty sure they know who Michael J. White is. He's been in a superhero
Yeah.
movie before with DC or Marvel. My bad. So
Yeah.
they know.
Yeah. Back in the Dark Knight.
No, like before that, he was in Spawn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
He was in
part right there.
Spawn a long time ago, so he's been in superhero movies before, so they know who he is.
Yeah.
So it
But
wouldn't
my
be his
thing,
first time playing a fucking superhero.
it really wouldn't. But my thing was, had you just took Cyborg out, Justice League would have been fine. Now, in my personal opinion, Ben Affleck does not make a good Batman. You should have stayed with Christian Bale. But I digress. But other than that, I really just didn't give a fuck that Cyborg was in Justice League.
And
You
you want to
had
know
the
what's
right
fucked up
person.
about it? They did all that to put Cyborg in Justice League, but he can't get his own movie apparently.
Exactly.
Like y'all did
So it
all
wasn't
that
a
to put
part of
him in
you
the
putting him
fucking
in there.
movie, but he can't get his origin story before Justice League. Like really?
Yeah.
Then
Because
again, he
because
should never been in there.
but I'm saying, or like if you can put Cyborg in Justice League, you can make Teen Titans movie. It ain't no fucking
Yeah.
excuse. It
Yeah,
ain't no
You
fucking excuse at that point.
because Cyborg really does belong to Teen Titans. He's never been in the Justice League. Never.
Exactly.
exactly.
So I don't know why. I don't know
See,
what gave them the idea to even do that in the first place.
Hence why I was saying that it felt rushed.
They could have brought in fucking Martian Man or some shit. They could have brought him in.
Yeah,
you
Mr.
can
John
CGI
Jones.
motherfucker. Look at Mystique. If you can do Mystique like that, you can do Martian Manhunter. Don't give me that bullshit.
But back
Right.
to the point, it's like at this point, I feel like Marvel just throwing shit at the wall and just seeing what sticks. Like they not
That's basically all
actually
they're doing.
trying anymore. Because I will always say this, like everything after Endgame has been either meh or trash. I'm not gonna say they all been trash. They either been meh or trash.
Right.
Like they were decent, and then you had this shit.
Yeah, cause like for example, you got like the Doctor Strange movie, then you got Eternals.
Eternal should have happened somewhere in between, like Infinity War going into Endgame.
That's
It would have
that's where they
made more
actually
sense
fit.
because it's an actual
That's where they
fucking
actually
prequel.
fit.
Because it's
That's
a
where they actually
prequel. It's
fit.
because Eternals is literally a prequel. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea to do that after Endgame. I don't know why.
That made no sense. And then, where the fuck were y'all? I'm gonna keep saying it all the time
But I'm
somebody
saying
mentions
though,
the Eternal.
but listen to me right
Where the
quick.
fuck were y'all?
Like it would have made sense if they would have if they would have released Eternals like during like Infinity War. It would have made sense to be like, oh shit, that's why they couldn't help them because they was fighting this like celestial thing or whatever the fuck.
Exactly.
It would have made sense why they couldn't help. Then it could have been like,
And
well, we was
then
fighting this celestial being, that's why we couldn't help y'all. It would have made sense.
like here comes Endgame, and you're like, oh, okay, now they're off planet and they're doing this right here, so that's why they can come right
Exactly.
now and help defeat Thanos and restore humanity. Oh, Internals are gone. They're off world. They can't help right now.
Exactly. It would have made sense. Because
Bingo.
Eternals is a prequel that they released too late.
Yeah.
Way too late.
And plus, I'm not gonna lie, that celestial thing y'all made it look like Galactus. So that's y'all fault
I
for
Yeah.
the
promise.
advertisement.
I promise. I thought that was Galactus for a minute. I'm like, hold up.
Because it would have been a
It's,
good fucking excuse if they would have been like, we was fighting Galactus, that's why we couldn't help y'all. Would have been a good fucking excuse.
Right.
but then you would have to factor in like the X-Men if they were fighting Galactus. Cause don't X-Men fight Galactus, or is that Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
That's Fantastic
No.
Four.
My
No. The
bad.
X-Men also have fought Galactus too.
But it's mainly Fantastic Four though.
Fantastic
And
Four.
plus
It's mainly
in the X-Men movies, Galactus has never been mentioned. So
And that's an insult.
according to the timeline that they gave us, they never meet Galactus or never even fight Galactus. So it's just the Fantastic
And that
Four.
was insulting. That really was
how is that
insulting.
how is that insulting? Because Fantastic Four and Galactus go together. I mean, like X-Men really trying to fight Galactus, really?
That's like watching a Spider-Man movie and not finding any Spider Slayers off in there.
Who?
What?
There are devices that are okay. Throwing it like how the OG, well not OG, like how the first animated Spider-Man series did back in the 90s, like how they actually incorporated, the whole Spider Slayers bit, right? The actual machineries that usually go around tracking Spider-Man in order to gain, info about him, how to improve this and how to improve that in order to become a better machine and for like to actually kill him. They've never done that in any other Spider-Man project since then. They've not done it, with the whole introduction of like, Tobey Maguire. They never did it for,
But is it
well, the other
necessary?
one. And it could have been something they made mention of. They don't even have to make a cameo appearance. They could have been like a blueprint, Easter egg and
No,
everything, like,
but no, but
something to come
But
no,
up
for
with.
no, but my
but who
question
would
was
he be for though?
no, but my question was, did the story need it? Because the story didn't need it, then it doesn't really matter.
You have
Exactly.
the you have the corporation of Osborn, or I guess say of Oscorp and everything. That's technically like an actual, possible trope off in there that could have worked with it. even of course, introducing like, everything else that came about with it. It could have been something.
But
Like
that
this
but
could have
that
been like a,
but that would have
an
been
eyebrow
too
raiser.
but that would have been too much to introduce into the Spider-Man movies. Because that was the main
And
reason
then
why because that was why three was that's why people didn't like three because they introduced too
I mean,
you
much in
put
one
too much
movie.
I mean, I
in.
got you. I got you off of that. I'm just saying, like, they don't have to do the They didn't even have to do the physical part if they chose not to. Just saying, like, for instance, like, if you, I guess they say, like, in part one with the Green Goblin, like, if they actually kind of like would have had like laid out plans and everything, and you just would have seen something, entitled, Spider Slayers and like, question marks and everything, like, something around either there or at Osborn's,
But
manor and everything. That just would have
but
been something as far as
what
like an Easter egg.
but what would that serve in the Spider-Man verse though? Because
Because they exist.
No, but
Just like
if you put an Easter egg in a movie, then you have to incorporate it into an actual movie. You can't just put an Easter egg in there and never do shit about it.
exactly, and then it's like what I had told one of our friends. You have to make it make sense. That would never have made sense from Toby all the way to Tom Holland. It would never made no sense.
The continuity
eh,
would have been off. Is basically
It really would
the
because
continuity of that wouldn't have made sense.
you have these spider slayers, and here comes Spider Man, and then you have like Green Goblin, then Doctor Octavius, and then here it is Venom and Sandman. Where would the Spider Slayers come in either of those movies?
I've already broken it down. I'm just saying again. Okay, let's see if I can run this through again at a shorter pace. Like how basically like they throw like little garments in, like how this could look as far as like if this was this person's suit, or like how this person could probably look either as a regular person. That's just things that came out of the actual comics or from somewhere else that they just throw in little teasers to and everything, like to see if the person's actually going to catch that. That could have worked something like that. They don't have to include them physically, just the overall mention to it.
You
It's
just
kind of
want
like
them to
running out
just
of
mention
line.
it.
Yeah, that could have been something right there because that's basically like
But if
the whole
you mention,
concept.
but Scales, if you mention it, you will eventually have to do it.
Not all
You can't just,
necessarily.
Because no,
yes,
like no,
you
like
would.
no, like take this for an example. Say for instance, like it's like how we were talking just a couple minutes earlier about X-Men and Galactus. They never mention Galactus in any of the X-Men movies. So showing
And they
him,
could have.
no, but I'm saying no. Listen to me. So showing him or having them fight him continuity wise from the X-Men movies that we have seen would not make sense because they've never mentioned him. But even if they just kept mentioning him, but they didn't do shit about it, and he never showed up, then it's like, well, why talk about it? So like, if they just talked about the Spider Slayers, but never like showed them in action or like put them on the screen, then it doesn't really serve a purpose. Because there's no point in
It has
talking,
to make
huh?
it has to make sense. It really does have to make sense. That's like when you see Spider Man and they mention Venom, 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 but you'll never see Venom. What's the purpose?
Yeah, it's just
That
kind of
just
like
would have been.
don't tease it if you're not gonna actually put it on the screen.
But
Or
that's
like
where I was
you
also
see
gonna say off of
Venom,
that one. But go ahead.
but I'm just like you see Venom, but you'll never do nothing with him. It's not gonna make sense. That's why we were saying like the Spider Slayers, like don't mention it if you're not gonna put them in, and if you put them in, you have to make sense of why they're there. You can't just be. You sounded like my friend. You going off comic book. You have to think movie wise. It has to make sense.
I'm
That's
also
like
thinking movie wise off of it. I'm just saying, okay, thinking movie wise off of this one, it's almost like one of the concepts that we actually had in one of our previous shows. Like, say, like for instance, that Batman went rogue and everything, killing off different superheroes, right? They would actually be visually seen through, of course, the actual tech, but they just wouldn't be mentioned verbally through the actual show, or I guess say through the actual movie. It would almost paint the same concept, just again looking at through a different blueprint off of it, and it would still show exactly the same thing off of it. It's plenty of things that's actually been shown but never mentioned, just like plenty of things that actually have been mentioned but never seen. They actually get away with such things like that to see if people are actually going to catch them and be like, that could actually be like a good idea. And then they actually eventually like real write it in as to why they never actually did it, like either through the character or through the actual director or producer off of that.
But
It
that's
still has
kind
to
of
at least
pointless
go
though.
through something like.
but there's no purpose. There
Yeah,
wouldn't be no purpose.
Like like
I
like
mean,
like
if
like
you,
my
it,
like my only thing with that is like if you go and talk about it in the movie, then then later if you say, oh, this is why we didn't do it, then it's kind of pointless of you even mentioning it.
that's it.
Cause because
Because
it,
that
because
thing,
because it's just like in a
okay.
Fantastic Four series, like when they kept like teasing Galactus, but we never actually saw Galactus. Then why even have Galactus even in the movie to begin with? That's all I've been saying. It's like if you gonna hint at him in the movie, then just show him in the movie then, or even at the end credit scene, show him and then put him in the
because
next
I'm
movie.
just sitting here,
That's what I was
I'm
trying
li-
to explain by, of course, either going short worded or long worded off of it. It's all about how, to actually execute it off of it. That's what I was speaking on from both sides of it.
Yeah, but I feel like it would
but
have
that's
took
like
away
make
from I feel like it would took away from what especially the Toby movies were actually trying to like talk about. I feel like it would took away from that.
yeah, you'll be
Well,
taken away from
well
Toby,
here's an
and
e-
then it's like
well
Brightburn,
here's an example right
Brightburn.
well here's an example right here then. In the Toby series and everything, we already know that Kirk Connors was the lizard, or he eventually turns into the lizard, but they never turn him into the lizard during that whole running.
Uh, Toby never fought the lizard.
That's
That
Andrew
was
Garfield.
Andrew.
Well,
That's
here's the
Andrew.
thing. Again, pay attention here. Kirk Connors turns into the lizard in the actual, like I say, in either continuity or in any other form of media, right? His professor at his university is Doc Connors. He is actually missing half of his right arm, if not his whole right arm. But yet you never
Yeah,
actually
but
utilize him, experimenting on himself. You see him, looking into microscopes, teaching, seminars and everything else, but you never utilize anything else off of that because it's just mainly, Spider-Man or Peter Parker's time off of that. They want, more Peter in front of the screen rather than anything else.
but at the time he was like Toby's villains really are Dr. Octavius, Green Goblin, and Venom and
See, like
Sandman. Yes, we know
I
about Doc
feel
Connors.
I feel like what you trying to do, Scales. I feel like that would only work if it would only been one Spider Man. Because having separate Spider Mans kind of makes the issue of like it makes that bigger of a continuity issue because like they all fought different people and they all kind of like will have to worry about different shit. And the Spider Slayers would have kind of just been like, oh, here's the Spider Slayers, but like they don't really. It wouldn't have ended up contributing to the bigger picture, in my opinion.
It could have. It
Because
just never. It just never would have worked in either timeline.
Yeah,
It
like
just never would have worked.
yeah, like even if they would have tried to put it in there, it just would have kind of messed up the movies a lot more.
because I'm sure they was like in the bigger picture with the Amazing Spider-Man. Of course, you was gonna see Doc Connors. That's and Electro, and for the Amazing Spider-Man. But then you have to think of Tom, who fought the biggest villain anybody could defeat was Thanos. Think of the bigger picture because them Spider Slayers would not have made no sense in none of those Spider Verses.
I'm gonna just agree to disagree and just drop that part right there. Just yeah. I really don't even know what else to say off of it. Really, I mean, aside from right now, I could really just go for a drink. I really could.
Cause
This is
I think my brain broke somewhere in the midst of this
mine.
somewhere.
Just basically flatlined over having to basically had to repeat everything, but it's still all good. So, was there anything else that we actually had left to mention?
No, I think that was it. I think that was it.
Yeah, that would be it for me on my part. I'll just say be prepared come next year for the Marvels movie.
Oh yeah, and
That's
next episode will be a long-winded Naruto multiverse episode, so look forward to that.
oh god.
Okay.
But until next time, we out.
Peace.
Take it easy out there. Stay hydrated.